whatever discussion done today is just for the knowledge purpose, right? And the answers that we do to your queries, like that is our viewpoint on it, but it is not a investment advice to buy or sell the security. Okay, so first let's start with the this is the Nifty 50 chart. And I think last time we met for the stock Darbar, the market was not in a very good shape, right? After that, I think there was a very good correction that came, like Nifty breaches 50 DMA, 100 DMA भी breach हो गया था. And then I think most of you who are following our regular updates on the daily big picture as well as our podcasts, right, that we have started, might be knowing that Nifty established a potential bottom, right, last week, that is around 16,800. And then we saw that Nifty tried to attempt rally for 3 days. And yes, on last Wednesday, the status was changed to a rally attempt, right? So last Wednesday, we shifted the market status to rally attempt. And yes, then we were waiting for a follow through day, that is FTD, which confirms that the market is now moving towards the uptrend, right? And yes, yesterday was that day. Yesterday Nifty went up more than 1.5%, और volume भी previous session से higher था, right? So that's the reason we considered it as a follow through day. And just okay, that's the reason we considered it as a follow through day. And yes, we are in a confirm uptrend. Today was also a very good day for the market. Like again, the market went up more than 1.5% on the Nifty, right? Volume was a marginally higher than yesterday's session. So we consider today's move as a additional follow through day, right? So additional follow through day, that gives a confidence in the rally. Whenever we shift the market status to a confirm uptrend और उसके बाद अगर additional follow through day आता है तो market पे आपका confidence बढ़ता है, right? Now, 2 to 3 things that I want to discuss about looking forward. Firstly, यहाँ पे ये green line जो है, that is the 21 DMA, right? तो वो 21 DMA वाला level एक बार cross कर जाता है अभी market, and next we will be looking to this red line, right? That is the 50 DMA. So these two levels are very important now. Secondly, अभी अगर last correction जो कि last month में हुआ, FIS का heavy selling था, not only in October, not only in November, but October में भी FIS were net sellers, right? And there was a huge selling at that time also. So this new variant of virus, right? The news spread over that volatility due to the virus news, that came very late, right? Because यहाँ पे ही हमको दिख रहा था कि द मार्केट वाज गोइंग अंडर प्रेशर, राइट? यहाँ पे जब 50 डीएमए ब्रीच कर दिया था मार्केट ने, सो देयर वाज नो न्यूज अबाउट दिस वायरस एंड ऑल, राइट? But as we always say, don't get disturbed by the noise, right? If you just keep following the charts, right? If you keep following the levels, always keep macros in mind. I never deny that fundamental macros, they are equally important. You should have them in mind, but that doesn't mean that, right, you just keep following the news and you get disturbed by the noise and you trade in that way. So that is not a good way to approach the market. But yes, a blend of both with a focus on technicals is very important. So यहाँ पे weakness दिख रहा था पहले ही, right? The accumulation of distribution day, right, which indicates the weakness in the confirmed uptrend market was clearly seen before this fall came, right? And that's the reason, like, we were able to exit a lot of positions which were looking weak before they fell further, right? Now, couple of issues with the market now is, or what you should look now in the market is कि जो leading stocks है, leading sectors है, they are still trading below some of the key moving averages, right? Now let's say Nifty Bank. So Nifty Bank is one of the leader in last couple of days, right? So I think today's candle is not updated here, but yeah, it has already moved higher today. So if you can see the Nifty Bank, it had fallen from around 41,800, right? and it had breached 36,000 level as well. तो वहां से एक बेस बनाया सर. सो ऑलमोस्ट फॉर 8 to 10 सेशन इट वाज कंसोलिडेटिंग. ये ब्लैक लाइन जो है दैट इज अ 200 डीएमए. तो बैंक निफ्टी ने क्लियरली 200 डीएमए पे सपोर्ट लिया है एंड इट वाज मूविंग फ्रॉम देयर, right? So now what happens that when there was such a huge fall, right, from almost 42,000 to below 36,000. So यहाँ पे क्या होगा कि overhead supply, so there will be some overhead supply. So if bank nifty is down this much, so the stocks like ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, right, Kotak, so they are almost down 15 to 20% from their high, right, which they made somewhere in September or October, right? They are almost 15 to 20% down from there. And they are also below its 50-day moving average. उनका जो की moving average रहता है उससे भी अभी वो stocks नीचे है, right? So that is why it is important that those stocks, those sectors, like take up their key moving averages. The second thing which I just saw might be interesting for you guys to learn, that every time V-shape recovery नहीं होता है. Like March 2020, ठीक है, जब कोरोना आया था तब मार्केट गिर के अराउंड 7500 हो गया था, ठीक है. एंड फ्रॉम देयर वाज ऑलमोस्ट अ वी शेप रिकवरी, राइट. देयर वाज अ वेरी शार्प रिकवरी. बट जनरली ऐसा नहीं होता. लेट्स टेक दिस एग्जांपल. जैसे कि यहाँ पे बैंक निफ्टी 37,700 से 37,000 का, सॉरी 30,000 का फॉल आया था, राइट. Okay, so then what happened after that fall? Like Nifty established a bottom around 30,200, 300, and then it rallied, right? Almost till 34,000. But you can see there was no a V-shaped recovery, and this is a general trend. It happens like every time. You can't expect a V-shaped recovery. अगर आ जाता है तो बहुत अच्छा. Like we will keep focus on charts, right? That's what I am discussing. That only we always keep focus on the current market situation, right? Then what happens? It moves a bit sideways, right, for few sessions. Then again it rallies, right? So this is how generally the things move. So that is why what you can expect over here is like there can be a good rally for some bit of time, but then a good consolidation and rally again is also very constructive, right? So you need to be careful because like yesterday we were discussing as a team, बहुत सारे quality stocks है, right, which are forming a base. अभी वो लोग base बना रहे हैं. So they have not broken out from the base. They are not in the ideal buy zone, which we tell. I think the regular followers of O'Neill might be knowing about the patterns, right? The cup with handle pattern, the double bottom, flat base. So जो भी अच्छे quality stocks हैं, which are fundamentally good growth driver अच्छे हैं, right? They are forming base, and some of the stocks are forming a higher stage base, right? Stage 3, stage 4, which is not a very good thing. So I think you should give some time to market to move higher, right? On the flip side, if you find a quality stock, right, fundamentally growth driver अच्छा है, earning momentum is good, right, the relative strength उसका गिरा हुआ नहीं है, and if it is breaking out of like highest third, like you first and second is the safest one, but in some case if you find the third, that is fine. In that case you can consider adding it to our portfolio. अभी watch list बना के रखो, right, and then you can consider adding to portfolio. Let's take a couple of more sectors. If you can see Nifty Auto, similar that what I discussed in the Nifty Bank. So like this was at a new high, right? Double top जैसा formation है. This was at a new high just last month, and there was a sharp fall. And it again found support at 200 DMA. So 200 DMA जो black line है इसके लिए strong support है, right? So now it is trying to move higher, and this red and green line are the 50 and 21 DMA respectively. So अगर यहाँ पे वो reclaim कर लेता है, then that is a very good indication for index or for the market, right? So your leading stocks, leading sectors, जैसे निफ्टी ऑटो है, वो recent जो इसके पहले का रैली था उसका लीडर था, राइट फ्रॉम 13,000 टू ऑलमोस्ट 20-22% का रैली किया था इसने. सो दीज लीडिंग स्टॉक्स, लीडिंग सेक्टर्स अगर मोमेंटम में आ जाते हैं अगेन, इफ दे आर रिक्लेमिंग की मूविंग एवरेजेस, देन इट इज वेरी गुड. बट if you can see the auto, the one thing is that uh, like I was reading about it, that Maruti is losing share to Tata Motors, right? And the personal vehicle PV segment. So that happens, like if the Tata Motors is gaining momentum and if it is gaining the share from Maruti, right? So obviously you will find then Maruti going under consolidation, or it may fall a bit. So sometimes these things also happen. So whenever the sector is a bit in momentum, look for the leading stocks, that which stocks are leading as far as the price volume action or the earnings are concerned, right? Last, let's take Nifty Realty, and then we move towards the stocks queries. So yeah, Nifty Realty, not that major fall when you compare it with the other indexes, right? Whether it's sectorial or the Nifty 50, right? Almost just 10% fall from the high in Nifty Realty. So yeah, this sector is doing really well after the COVID. You know, the inventory levels are quite low, and the shift that we discussed, I think last to last time also, the shift from the unorganized to organized player, right? As well as the easy availability of credit and low interest rates, right? So you are getting loan at just 6-7%. So these all factors are playing a very big role in Nifty Realty. Okay, so now without going further into the sectoral side, let's take your stock queries. Just post your questions for once, right? And I'm joined by our head of research, Mayuresh Joshi, and also my colleague Makar. So we three will try to answer your queries, and in between, if we come up with some discussion on the sectors, we will do that. So Brajesh is telling that let's discuss IT pharma also and broader market. Okay, let's discuss Nifty IT. So yeah, the Nifty IT was in a very good momentum, right? And then it is going through the consolidation phase. And like it held well. Like जब ये market अभी recently correct हो रहा था, Nifty IT was the sector which was able to hold well, right? The stocks like the leading stocks like TCS, Infi, even the broader IT stocks, you know, the mid cap stocks are also doing well, right? So there is no much issue as far as the IT stocks are concerned. And I think if 1 or 2, 3% move from here, the index might be at a new high. And that is where you need to pick the quality stocks as far as the index is concerned. But one thing that, like, say, for example, Infi is in a very good momentum as far as the IT sector is concerned. Please do not turn on your videos. Yeah, but see, it is forming a stage 4 base. If you look at the Infosys, right, it is forming stage 4 base, and that is quite risky. Like whenever a stock is forming a very high stage base, then it's not a ideal situation. There are chances of a correction. But if you look at the TCS, it is forming stage 2E base, right? Recently, only it reclaimed its 50 DMA. The red line over here is the 50 DMA, and it reclaimed its 50 DMA. The other thing that might work well for the IT, that is the rupee has depreciated over the last month, right? So it was at a level of 74 against the USD. But I think since last couple of weeks, it is now I think above 75, right? And so these guys, the pharma, the ITs, which is the export-oriented sector, which get their revenues in dollar terms, those might get benefit out of it. So that is one reason why the Nifty IT is holding. And also, like there is a lot of technology transformation. Specifically, COVID के बाद जो new technology transformation के orders है, right? They are very good for these companies, right? And that's the reason they might remain in momentum. Okay, a lot of queries. So, okay, let's go to Tata Power. Sanjeev has a query on it. See, the stock had a very good run. Like this was our part. This was part of our portfolio, and we made a very good return over here. All the stock almost doubled, right? So yeah, when the stock was in this rally phase, yeah, so this was part of our model portfolio, and our client at that time went to some very good profits. So we added on breakout over here. So as far as the Tata Power is concerned, like it has a very good fundamentals, and now this power sector is booming, right? The utility sector is doing well. So like think last month there was some power shortage, the shortage of coal, right, which led to power prices go higher. The second thing, the electric vehicle play, right? The EV plays. And the Tata Power is one of the front runner in developing infrastructure for electric vehicles, right? As the Tata Power, the Tata Motor is one of the leader, right? Currently, as far as the electric vehicles are concerned, the cars are concerned. Similarly, the power is getting the infrastructure ready for them, right? So that's the reason this can be in a very good momentum. So if you look technically, currently it is forming a stage 3 base. So ideally it's a higher base, but if you see that the other indicators are fine, then you may consider this one. So even during the fall, it has not breached its 50 DMA. So see, this is the sign of strong stock. ठीक है, जब निफ्टी इतना करेक्ट हुआ है उसके बाद भी ये रेड लाइन जो कि 50 डीएम है उसको ब्रीच नहीं किया वो. It briefly breached its green line, that is 21 DMA, but yeah, it is very close to it. अगर ये स्टॉक 21 DMA reclaim कर लेता है, right, then it can move towards its pivot, that is 267 level, which was its previous high. और यहाँ से अगर हाई वॉल्यूम पे ब्रेकआउट, सी लुक एट वॉल्यूम, ठीक है, सिर्फ प्राइस नहीं, वॉल्यूम भी देखना पड़ेगा. अगर हाई वॉल्यूम से यहाँ पे ब्रेकआउट होता है, then one may consider, right, because the overall setup looks quite good for the stock. Okay, so next question. Yeah, CDSL, IEX. So I think we discuss this always, like this exchange related stocks, right? Whether it's BSC, CDSL, IEX, these are in a very good momentum. So the trading activity has increased, right? The retail participation is at a new high. Last एक डेढ़ साल में almost double हो गया है retail participation, right? New IPOs are coming, new investors are coming. CDSL में daily thousands of accounts are opening, right, in CDSL. And similarly for the BSC, there is a process going on for the NSE's IPO. And I think in unlisted space, NSE के IPO को अच्छा valuation मिल रहा है. But let's see, we should not presume those things कि when the NSE IPO comes and what happens. So even BSE has a very good growth driver. जो इनका volume है वो बढ़ता जा रहा है. Then it's mutual fund business, right? I think Star, BSE Star Mutual Fund, there is the business, and that is doing really well. They are one of the leaders, right, as far as the mutual funds are concerned. And so that is the reason why the BSE, the CDSL, the IEX. So specifically for IEX, right? So our market is under penetrated as far as the energy exchange is concerned compared to the rest of world, right? अपने यहाँ energy का trading बहुत कम होता था पहले, but nowadays with the private participation it has increased a lot, right? Specifically अभी जो energy के prices है, the power prices also shoot up due to that coal issue and all those things. So a lot of growth drivers for IEX as well, even in future, right? As we, infrastructure develops more, the private companies, right, they come more into the power sector, in the power transmission business. So I think the exchange of power through the centralized exchanges like IEX, that will be very high. And that's the reason all this index or exchange related stocks are doing quite well. So I'm not specifically going into them. So just quick look at the charts. So CDSL, yeah, almost close to buy zone. Stage 3 cup with handle पे से breakout हुआ था, but I think due to market volatility, some correction, there was some sell off from 1624 level. but it tested its 50 DMA and it's back in zone, right? Okay.
So, Rushit, a couple of pointers I'll just add. So, guys, can you hear me? Rushit, you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, two things. One, in terms of what is happening with power stocks is there is expectation that the Electricity Amendment Act might get passed in the parliamentary session, the winter session that is happening right now. And if that probably happens, I think a lot of changes are expected in the act itself. Now, there are structural changes that one is probably presuming, and also a lot of decentralization that might happen. So, I think the entire value chain, right from generators to transmitters to balance of plant, right? I mean, anybody who has erection capabilities, who erects plants for power utilities, and also the associated ancillary requirements. So power transformers as an example. So that entire chain is probably moving at this point of time. IX again in terms of the real-time market, the next market, and the platform itself. I think that is gaining a lot of traction both because of volumes and the realizations on the volume front also improving. So cash flows anyway strong, volumes are increasing, specifically short-term volumes. Long-term volumes also to a certain extent have better rates. So the blended rates, as more and more of customers start flowing in, obviously are going to benefit as well. So RP, absolutely right. I think as I said, the entire power chain includes everybody, right? So it includes Kalpataru Power, it includes KEC, and all these players can have a significant drive. So, just as an example, KEC has been receiving a lot of orders. Though I think a part of the business that you should understand also is that it is also export oriented. It's also got a huge say in terms of Brazilian operations and also its SAE operations as well. So, during COVID times, obviously, it got troubled because of huge cases in Brazil, so on and so forth, but they're keeping on winning a lot of orders in this space. So I think if you look at KEC, a lot of orders being won. Kalpataru has a lot of moving parts within its balance sheet itself. So electricity, obviously, I think, and what they probably do, they've also got a lot of subsidiaries which they have investments across and in as well. So you need to analyze a few of these industries. You need to also analyze a couple of their boot products projects that they've been pursuing, and valuations for all these aspects become very, very different. Now, Power Grid had a significant move, if you would have seen, right, during these very volatile couple of weeks that we had when we downgraded the market and the market came down in a tizzy. But again, I think the consistency in terms of capex and capitalization, I think that becomes a very integral part for power transmitters. So I think all these aspects need to be looked out for, and that is the whole purpose in terms of why the entire power chain is doing well. On the exchanges, as Rushit rightly pointed out, CDSL, MCX, BSC, obviously a lot of buzz happening. NSE's approval has still not come, but there is also this buzz of the LIC IPO. And you can very well imagine that people who do not have demat accounts, and though I think the number of demat accounts has actually doubled, right, in 18 months. 6 crores, right, Rushit, if I'm not mistaken, is the figure that we are talking about in terms of.
Yes, just for CDSL.
So 6 crores, and that figure might just keep on improving, right? So I think it's not something that the market is not aware of. And therefore, what Rushit was pointing out in terms of base structures, something where the base is properly getting created, have a look at the blue dot list as well. And both these lists will give us an indication on certain areas where the market is. And the third area, obviously, is industry ranking, right? Which you've got. There was a user query as well. So industry ranking also becomes important on what industry ranks are getting changed on a week on week or a month on month basis. So when you put these three perspectives in place, you might be actually creating a reasonable amount of watch list where I think the proper base is getting created. And as per O'Neill, right, we probably need to see and analyze that it comes to its pivot. And as soon as it comes to its pivot and it fulfills all the criteria that we're looking at, we probably have a look at that. So all these exchanges, CDSL, BSC has a lot of annuity income attached with that as well. So what Ruchir was talking about, the BSC MF Star platform, I think that becomes additional data points, but it's also got a solid annuity base. There is a recurring income which happens. There is listing fees which they also get their income through from. And MCX obviously it's dependent in terms of more in terms of the average traded turnover. So how the turnover is and how volatile the commodity markets are, right? Both on the precious metal side, which includes gold, silver, crude, and where volatility persists, the average daily turnover. So ADT is what the measure is for MCX and volumes thereof. That is essential in terms of understanding all these aspects. So I think whether all these stocks are forming proper bases as per O'Neill, do they fulfill uh, the criteria set out by CanSlim? Third, they should not be late stage bases, right? Because with the market move, what has happened is that a lot of stocks are coming into stage four. Say that's an example as well, right? Stage four is an absolute avoid as per O'Neill. Stage three, as Rushit pointed out again, I think in certain cases um, acceptable. Where I think there are qualitative stocks, the move has happened, but it's still acceptable in that sense. And therefore, when you're looking at how the structures are, all these elements in terms of what I spoke about, stocks which are also coming in our curated list, in the nearby list or near pivot list, but fulfilling all the criteria, that is something that you probably need to do. We carry, Arjun Madhvaji, we carry these stocks in our buy watch list. We have no control on how the stock shoots up or not. We try to basically make all you guys aware, all our clients and all our patrons aware on certain elements on how we are looking at things, how CanSlim is being followed and pursued when it comes to the larger market. And therefore, the active buy watch list comes in our daily mail, and we consciously try to add those stocks. The moment is not in our control. What has largely happened is the moment is pretty steep and stark over the last few months, anyways. I think there is a sudden moment which happens. We have seen so many examples where the stocks are 5% to pivot, right? And therefore, when it all starts moving, right, the movement is so sharp and stark in a matter of 5 to 10 minutes. It has not only touched the pivot, but probably gone 2-3% higher than the pivot. So, unfortunately, that's part and parcel of the market. But the only thing is that we can be ready with that, ready with our buy watch list that we are creating, and therefore, all the explanation therefore as well. Manish, can we have a Telegram channel? We are trying to put that forth, right, through our buy watch list. I think it's not extensive as we cover in our swing trading or our tradersmith stuff. And therefore, I think those positions need to be taken very, very quickly. Here also positions need to be taken. But we'll have a thought on that, Manish. So I think we will have a look at that as well. Rushit, you can take a quick question, or Vakar, you can probably take a couple of questions. Roger,
I'll take in a few queries. Yeah.
yeah. So before I do that, Roger, have a look at Gufic Bio again. Does it match the CanSlim parameters? Does it match the market cap requirements in the first place? Yes, it does. Does it have mutual funds? Yes, it does. Yeah, so Vakar might take that question for you. So Vakar, if you want to take a couple of questions and queries.
Yeah, sure. So hi guys, my name is Vakar. I am the newest member of this MSI research team, and you guys will be hearing me for the first time, but I'll be glad to take on your queries. Rushit, can you please switch on the chart for clean science? It is one of the queries there. Yep. So disclaimer to everyone listening, it's part of our model portfolio. We added it um, somewhere around this levels where it rebounded from its 50 DMA. So we didn't, we had conviction with the story. We didn't, we went with an alternate entry for this stock when the stock rebounded from its 50 DMA. And the stock has a good institutional holding, which is probably increasing like in every quarter. I mean, yes, being a new stock, like just had its IPO like few months back, so the EPS rating is not kind of good, but the qualitative factors is really strong for clean science. So I mean, uh, it operates across multiple businesses, multiple segments in terms of MEHQ, BHA, Goicol, DCC, Formap, Anisole. It's being we come up into like a new HAL series as well. So the segments that it caters to, it's performance chemicals, pharmaceuticals, FMCG. So it has a very wide customer base, what we can say, and it is, if not a global leader, at least in the top 2 to 3 uh, guys in whatever segments it produces. Plus, the way it produces um, its end product, it's a very unique process. We had a talk with them, and that's why these guys are able to generate the kind of margins they generate in terms of higher, greater than 50% of in terms of EBITDA margin and greater than 65% of gross margin. Yes, the gross margin did get affected at this point in time when your raw material prices shot up. Uh, but again, the company is confident that these raw material prices would normalize at least in Q4 or by Q1 of FY23. So, yep. And in terms of, if we talk about the chart, it broke out of its stage 2 base recently. So if anyone would have wanted to add, not at the 50 DMA, if they have missed out at this point as well, they could have added at the breakout point as well. And from that point, it reclaimed its key moving averages, and it's been trading in a suitable point from now. Disclaimer not to probably take this as a buy or sell recommendation at this point, and add the position just because we have it in our model portfolio. Okay. Yeah. And
Thanks.
second, yeah. Hello.
Yeah, you're taking one more?
Yeah, I'm taking one more. Initially, I saw one of this query for Mayur Uniquoters. It was very initial query, I guess. Mayur Uniquoters. Yeah. So classic case of breaking out today out of a stage 2 pattern. Super volumes, good ratings like buyer demand, EPS ratings, superb like A and 87. Even RS line was little weak, but even that's moving higher. And what we can probably see it is like on the down days. Rushit, can you take it a little bit down? Yeah, the daily chart, please. Yeah. The volumes on the down days are also pretty low, and the up days volumes are super high. And in terms of the qualitative aspects, if we talk about on the recent results, uh, the revenue contribution for the companies is majorly the segments are like footwear, automotive. These are the main revenue contributors, and 31% comes from footwear, 58% from automotive. And these guys provide like the in terms of automotive, the key customers are Mercedes and BMW. So in terms of, yes, we all been hearing about the chip shortages. So in the recent management commentary, they had mentioned that they had got a potential order of 40,000 meters per 40,000 meters per month from Mercedes, but they could only fill in 15 to 20,000 because of chip shortage. But they are pretty confident that as the time would progress, this would reach to optimal utilization. The current capacity utilization for the company is somewhere around 74%. And plus, the recent results have been good in terms of volume growth, has been good. Margins, yes, has been subdued because of the RM cost pressures that we've been hearing across companies, across producers. But your EBITDA margin did get supported at 20.6% for the quarter, mainly on account of your higher operating leverage and your lower employee cost. But yes, at this point of time, it's no a recommendation to add it at this point. But yes, if someone ever added at the breakout, yes, it looked as a good buy.
Yeah, thanks, Waqar. So there is one question on KIMS. Right. So it was this 20. The IPO came in June, July, right? So after listing, it was in momentum and then traded sideways for a very long time and forming a cup, right? So it has completed the cup with handle formation and almost trading around the ideal buy range. Though the price strength, that is the RS line, is price strength is weak, but I think the RS line is trending higher, which is good, right? Recently, KIMS has acquired the majority stake in Sunshine Hospital, right? And also, it's the other revenues as well as the earnings for these hospital businesses are increasing, right? Because globally, we have seen that the non-compulsive surgeries which were pushed behind due to the COVID, right? COVID की वजह से कोई जो non-compulsive surgery है वो नहीं करवा रहा था. But I think nowadays, after the traveling has opened, as well as the COVID has reduced, right? Specifically in India, so the surgeries are again back on the track, right? So this hospital business is doing quite well, and it may continue. So I think today also it tried to move higher, but it found resistance somewhere which is around 1350 levels, right? If it crosses these region and it is in ideal buy zone, one might consider entering the stock. Okay, so next question. So Rajiv is asking about the Polyplex. The disclaimer that this is the part of our model portfolio and our gain is almost 106% in this stock. ये stock हमने May 3rd को add किया था. We added on May 3rd, right? When it broke out from the base. Yeah, on this day. So we had added this stock over here, and I think after addition only, like it hit power to pivot. That is the power to pivot mark is 20% gain in less than 3 weeks, right? And once that happens, according to O'Neill, you should hold it for at least 8 weeks. And yeah, we hold the stock through this consolidation phase, right? And then it gave a very good return. So if you can see the journey, 21 या 50 DMA पे strong support लेके it went higher. So today, if you can see, it hit 100% in our portfolio, and it broke out from a stage 3 cup base. Currently, it is trading in a ideal buy zone, right? So this is what I think first me and Mahesh were discussing, that sometime in an exceptional case, you can look for the third stage basis. So packaging companies, like not only the Polyplex, though Polyplex is leading the things, but if you can see the Uflex and the other packaging companies, the Jindals, and those guys are also doing quite well as far as the packaging industry is concerned, right? And Polyplex being one of leading one, right? It is doing quite well. So if someone is holding, right, they might continue to hold because there is no technical weakness. अगर आप यहाँ पे देखें तो अच्छा consolidation हुआ. So there was a very good phase of consolidation at this point, right? And if you can see the volume was also quite low during the consolidation phase, right? You can see right over here, right? So this is a very constructive setup, and one holding might hold it for new entry. Third, if you are okay with the third stage base, right, the risk associated with it, then yeah, it is currently trading in its ideal buy zone.
Yeah, Rushit, I'll take one more query.
Sure.
Can you please give him the chart for Deepak Nitrite? I saw someone having a Deepak Nitrite. Okay, so yes, one of probably like was part of our model portfolio as well, Deepak Nitrite.
Vakar, just before you continue, na,
Okay.
Rushit, if you can show the volumes as well, because a lot of charts, the volumes are a little, I mean, they're not visible completely. Yeah, much better. Yeah, sorry,
Much
Vakar, you
better.
can continue.
Yeah, no problem, sir, no problem. So yes, I mean, as you can see, I mean, the stock did made a high of 3020 like a month or so back, and then it's been deteriorating and it's been breaching its key moving averages, initially 21, then 50, then 100, and somewhere just before the 200 DMA it took some kind of support and has been gaining momentum from there. But overall the ratings across, the EPS rating has been good, but your RS rating is still some work to do, plus your buyer demand as well. And if you look at on the fundamental front, I mean, the management is pretty confident in terms of adding like uh, focus on the value-added products such as your phenolics and your specialty chemicals. They have in the recent call as well. They have reiterated their stance on value products which had margin expansion and sustainability to the company. So yes, in terms of the growth story remains intact for the company. The phenol prices, your acetone prices that did rallied up in the past couple of months, then did peak out and then uh, started correcting somewhere in November. So yes, the EBITDA, but your your EBIT margin did came under pressure for this company. So the coming results needs to be watched out and have डिटेल में देखना चाहिए कंपनी को, बट एट दिस पॉइंट इन टाइम we should probably still wait for it to reclaim its key moving averages, but would not advise any alternate entry for this stock, as probably the ratings across the parameters is not the ideal that we would be looking for at this point in time.
Thanks, Vakar. So there is a repeated query on JTL Infra. So let me take it. Sorry, you have to repeat it so many times, but yeah, so there are multiple queries and listed. So firstly, it's a very small stock. If you can see, the market cap is just 1,000 crores, and it, I think, crossed recently only in the last couple of months. So our criteria is majorly based, like we don't consider the stocks having the market cap of less than 1,000 crore, right? But yeah, the stock is almost 1,000 crore market cap. But the issue over here is, like, according to O'Neill methodology, you never pick a stock which is not having any fund holdings, right? So if you can see over here in JTL Infra, there is no fund holdings. So we generally avoid this stock. But just to give you a 1 minute brief, that yeah, the earnings, if you can see, the revenue as well as the earning growth has been really good, right? Plus, I think the product, like which it produces, the pipes and the sections, so there is a lot of traction in that business. इनका solar solutions भी है, and the guardrail system. So for the audience who don't know about that, JTL Infra जो guardrail system होती है, that is when you travel on highway, तो हाईवेज के साइड में वो जो स्टील का रेलिंग लगा होता है, राइट, दैट इज कॉल्ड गार्ड रेल सिस्टम. सो ये कंपनी वो बनाती है पूरा स्टील का. And yes, the demand is good. I think the highway sector is growing, right? The infrastructure is growing. The steel demand has improved. So I think that's the reason. Like, if you can look at this stock, which was just around 10-20 rupees in last year, has now reached a high of around 250. Yeah, so once just a year back, it was a penny stock, right? But yes, now it is 1,000+ crore as far as the market cap is concerned. So technically 50 DMA hai yahan pe, so it might take a support from here, right? And if it breaches 50 DMA, ideally on a higher volume, so any stock, right? This is a basic technical rule. If it breaches 50 DMA on a higher volume, then you might book profit in this one. Okay.
Cool. Rushit, I think Vivek had some question. Vivek Patil. I'm not sure what he had asked. He puts his hand up. That's what I can see on the screen.
Let me just check.
But till you are at that, let me take this question on Route Mobile. Somebody was asking on the Route and BPL as well. Shiju was asking on Route and BPL. So very interesting as a space, right, guys? So what Route is doing is in the CPaaS space. Now, I just tweeted a couple of days back in terms of one of my very good friends, Shiv Sharma, who heads StockBits for Southeast Asia. He had put in the start ecosystem, SaaS companies should be listed and so on and so forth. Where I replied on Twitter saying that though SaaS is a good area, CPaaS becomes even a better area over the next few years and decades. And there is certain logic applied to that where Route also operates out of. So let me quickly take you through that logic in the first place. So communication platform as a service is what CPaaS is all about. What they're doing is the way we are viewing our service offerings from network providers, from telecom companies, from different manufacturers, retailers, and how this service can be technically enabled using blockchain as a technology so that it becomes seamless. It uses the latest technology, and the delivery standards are world class in terms of the customer getting feedback or getting answers or getting his query solved in a time periodicity which does not affect his or her uh, anticipation in terms of when these queries will be solved. So if you look at the Indian company context, right, Route Mobile obviously is one of the CPaaS players. Tanla Platforms is also one of the CPaaS players. And on our global scale, because we cover global markets as well, Cinch and Twilio are our major CPaaS players worldwide. Now, as a space and market size, almost $9 billion odd dollars expected to grow to $36 billion odd dollars, which is faster than the SaaS growth over the next 4 to 5 years. Secondly, in terms of the margin profile itself, see SaaS companies, if you go through Tanla's presentation, they've got almost 40% as a benchmark, right? So earnings growth plus EBITDA margin should be at least 40%. And Tanla actually reports 65 because their earnings growth is almost 44% and they report EBITDA margins of 21%. So what SaaS companies report at 40%, uh, Tanla is actually reporting or doing a 65% kind of a growth in terms of that benchmark standard itself for CPaaS companies apart from SaaS. For Route, I think the case is somewhere around 2025 and EBITDA of 40. So they're very, very close to that 40. And therefore, if you have a like to like or an apple to apple comparison, margins are a little bit shorter compared to Tanla. Tanla also has cash equivalents of almost 850 odd crores compared to Route, which is almost 400, 450 odd crores. Both are servicing global clients. So I think the chasm which is getting created, right, and these companies which are filling that, which can substantially be compounded, not just by market size, but by the offerings that these players have. The consolidation that is happening for the industry is going to be substantial. Unfortunately for Route, I think the price action has not been very strong for these reasons because I think comparisons are being drawn with Tanla. But over a period of time, I think if the performance improves, and again, as per the O'Neill methodology, you probably need to have a look at that. For Bhansali Engineering, again, import substitution, only a couple of players within the listed space, Bhansali and Ineos Tyrolution. Unfortunately, I think as a disclaimer, we did cover this stock in our portfolio, but it did not work out. Risk management practice is very strong at O'Neill, and therefore, the moment it was at around 7.5, apart from the ideal entry point, we took it out. But as a space, I think lot of imports can get substituted. Capacities are being increased. The spreads that they are enjoying, even they are at a multi-decadal high or a multi-quarter high, they can normalize going forward because when you probably got input costs going down, even your end product prices might start coming down. And therefore, the spreads might start coming down, but the end product demand remains extremely, extremely strong. And therefore, I think the entire purpose in terms of how the structure is needs to be analyzed. Like Route, I think price strengths are not there. We'll have to wait for that and clearly trading below moving averages. So I think it has to create a proper base and it has to come out of that proper base and touch its pivot point before anything can be done in terms of an actionable as well. Yeah, Rushit, if you want to carry on.
Yeah, thanks. So I think Vivek had first initial question on Alcon, if I'm not wrong, Vivek. So Alcon Engineering. So yeah, this is a good stock as far as the fundamental and growth story is concerned. Recent earnings as well as the fund holdings have improved well, right? So majorly it deals with the two segment. एक उसका material handling equipment का है and second one is the transmission equipment. So the major business, so like 60-70% of its business is focused towards the transmission equipment, right? So now again the story comes to this power sector, right? Which I think Mayuresh explained really well, that how the things are going through in the power sector while discussing about the Tata Power and IEX and all. So I think this is one of the beneficiary, Alcon Engineering. The second thing, right, this also caters to the material handling, to the coal blocks, then the cement industries and all. So I think as the India's GDP is growing, as the coal consumption is increasing and the extraction, the focus is on, and the cement sector is doing quite well, right? So all these sectors which the Alcon Engineering, caters to, they are doing really well, and that's the reason the stock is in momentum. So recently it broke out from a double bottom uh, base, right, which was stage two. And I think if you might be following our watch list, then yes, this was the part of our buy watch list. But unfortunately, it was out of buy zone when the market stabilized. जब ये बढ़ रहा था तब the market condition was not that favorable to add the stock and the fresh addition to portfolio. And we always believe that you should follow the market, right? Don't try to pick the stock which is just going against the market, because at some point of time it may also face the resistance. So yeah, this was one of the stock, and yeah, was in our watch list, but yes, due to this market volatility, it went out of the buy zone. But yes, whenever if you see the stock coming back to buy zone, and if you see it pull back to its 50 DMA, then we might consider it again to add it to our buy watch list and then further go our portfolio. I think a couple of more questions from Vivek. So Sagar, you can't ask the questions on you. You just write your question, so we will answer it. But yeah, this is the system that we don't turn on the mics for the question.
We can take Birlasoft. A few users are asking Birlasoft, Rishit.
Birlasoft and then Triveni.
Yeah. And again, I think what I've commonly seen, right, when we do Tradersmith and these stock darbars as well, see the logic on certain stocks that are covered under Tradersmith and MSI are different, guys. So I see a lot of these questions get repeatedly asked, right, either or here or there. So Tradersmith is only for a few sessions. Let's understand that and be very, very clear on that. Does it necessarily satisfy all the criteria that we've set out, right? All the criteria, let me point out very categorically, might not be the case, right? So you have to take that with a pinch of salt. Tradersmith calls like Reddington, there were a few questions that were asked in the beginning, which we did add as a disclaimer on the Tradersmith platform today. Stocks like CDSL, which we added today, again as a disclaimer on the Tradersmith platform. I think those are with a very short-term point of view. So I think you need to probably bifurcate and differentiate that and not get into the rut on what Tradersmith has suggested. Does MISI have the same logic? Maybe a few stocks do, and there might be repetitive calls or calls which get covered on both aspects. But certain elements on certain stocks for Tradersmith with a very, very short-term duration, more like trading calls that last for a couple of days or a week. Markets with much larger time period than that. That's the only clarification I wanted to put forth. Sorry, Rushit, you can go ahead.
See, as far as Birlasoft is concerned, we added it to our portfolio. This is a disclaimer on 17th November after it break out from the stage 3B flat base, right? So it's a very good story. So the order book is very strong. The guidance, the double-digit growth guidance for FY22 is there, right? Also the EBITDA margins, right? So the company is able to sustain it about around 15% in FY21, right? And the guidance is also very positive. So total, its order book is fine as well as the fundamentals are good. So when it comes to the technical, the base formation was a very good, right? If you can look at the volume on the down days were low, it went through a very fine consolidation. So if you don't consider only the last base, अगर यहाँ से देखे तो around 430, 440, 50 level पे, so it consolidated for a very long time, right? And I think the breakout from there might turn out to be very good. Currently, it is just above at the higher range of its ideal buy zone, right? So generally we consider 0 to 5% as a buy zone. So yeah, the stock is 5% from the pivot, right? Accumulation is quite good over here. So next one, Triveni. So yeah, this stock was part of our model portfolio as well. And like if you can see, this is Triveni is in a very sweet spot. Like it is in a good business. The sugar plus the ethanol play, right? That is doing very well for these kind of companies. Not only the Triveni, but the other companies in the similar business have been doing quite well. It's ROE of more than around 19%, right? With the fund holding is also growing. The recent quarter results are good, and not only the recent quarter results, but I think the expectations are more. So as you can see, the sugar industry doing well as the government pushing for more ethanol blending, right, and also supporting the price. I think the Triveni engineering might benefit a lot from there. So currently, Triveni is also trading in its ideal buy zone, right? That is the 0 to 5% zone. So for a couple of days after the addition, the stock was in momentum, but unfortunately due to the market correction. But the good part is it has never breached its 50 DMA over last 4 5 like 8 to 10 session when market was in correction. If you agar aap dekhoge, red line over here is the 50 DMA and the green is the 21. So it is above all the key moving averages, right? Which is a very good setup. So no two ways about that. So couple of queries and then we call for the day.
Yeah, Rushit, I'll take a query.
Sure.
I saw one of the queries for Orient Electric. Nice stock, was there in our watch list for some time before. The market started correcting. Yep. Yeah. We were eyeing it around its pivot level, and then suddenly the market started correcting. And can you show me the ratings above, please? Yeah. So overall, yes, fundamentally in terms of EPS and sales growth has been really good. I mean, once the stock has been probably lacking at this moment is price strength, and that's what happened. Like around the pivot as well, it didn't have the price strength to take the stock price higher, and that's why probably the stock did fall apart. And yes, one more thing which we see is that not the number of funds or the shares held by fund has been increased that much. So even that can be one of the factors where the stock is not getting that much of institutional ownership. But overall, the qualitative aspects of the business model of the company remain pretty strong. In terms of it mainly caters to fans, lighting, luminaries, kitchen appliances, and water heaters, switchgear segments as well. And the gross margins for the stock did came under pressure. But overall, in terms of Sanchai, like their cost measures, their cost effective measures did help them in sustaining their EBITDA margin. And the company is confident that like as the discretionary spend uh, come in or would have actually come in terms of your festive season, uh, can expect a good quarter Q3 FY22 in terms of your sales numbers. But yes, cost pressures do remain and should be a good stock to study and look for at least for the next results and see how the management is poised about their future. Thanks, Sushil.
Yeah, so last query, let me take two, three guys have asked about the KPR mills. Yeah, so this has been one of a multi-bagger, and it is in India. It is one of among the selected vertically integrated textile player. Right, it produces from yarns to garment, and but if you can see over here, the earnings as well as the revenue growth, it is excellent over the last few quarters, and also the margins have been continuously increasing. And I think last quarter, the guys who follow KPR mills might be knowing, like they had a cotton price, they had cotton inventory which was at a very low price, and the cotton price in the market had increased too much, and due to that reason इसका margin बहुत अच्छा आया था last quarter. But however that margin cannot be sustained because that was one of thing that they had a inventory of the low price cotton, right? The other growth driver, I think, which market is looking over here, see, currently around 85 to 90% of business is around the textile, right? For KPR mills. And the rest 10% is around this ethanol, right? The sugar and ethanol business. And now the company is a bit more focused to improve the sugar and ethanol business. And I think the upcoming capex of 750 crore, which I was reading, only 250 crore is towards the textile, right? Because they already have a very good capacity, and over next 2 to 3 years they will be spending more than 500 crores for the sugar and ethanol business growth, right? So that is also one of the key mode for the company. Overall the technical setup is quite good, right? It has not breached its key levels even during this market correction, and it is still trading above its 21 DMA. But for buying currently, the stock is bit extended. Let it get a pullback to 50 DMA. जब 50 DMA से rebound होता है, then it is an alternative entry point. Secondly, अगर यहाँ पे वो एक नया base बनाता है, then that is also a good entry point. Otherwise, rating wise, it's excellent. If you can see the EPS, the price trend, buyer demand, fund holding has increased very good, like almost 12% number of funds, and the shareholding in fund increased almost 379% in the last quarter, right? So no two ways about the stocks. Those who are holding, look for the key technical level. Agar 50 DMA breach hota hai volume se, then you might consider a profit booking. And similarly, those who are waiting to add, two things: या तो stage 2-3 base बनेगा यहाँ पे, or secondly it might pull back to 50 DMA and rebound from there, something like this. बट यहाँ पे तो कुछ ज्यादा चांस नहीं दिया उसने. बट या दिस हैपेंस इन द गुड ग्रोथ क्वालिटी स्टॉक्स.
So Rushit, maybe I'll take a couple of 2-3 queries very quickly. If you can just put the charts up because we are having paucity of time now.
Yeah.
Power mech is something that was asked earlier. So as discussed, the entire power chain is strongly getting influenced because of a lot of factors that I earlier discussed. Second, in terms of power mech itself, right? What they do is the balance of parts, right? Helping uh, erection of plants for power transmitters, so on and so forth. But they're also doing a lot of non-power business as well. So refineries, so on and so forth. And they also take a lot of these contractual work and work in terms of annual servicing of assets as well. So there are a lot of things that are probably happening with Power Mech at this point of time. Order flows are improving. They just received the order. The exchange notification is something that I was observing. They've got a reasonable order book. Execution, obviously, during COVID had become an issue, and therefore the working capital cycle had got elongated. But the EBITDA margin should start coming back to normalization levels if growth comes back, order flows start coming back, is what the perception looks like. More non-oil related as well. Refinery as an example, as I said. But again, clearly, as per O'Neill, it has to surpass its pivot, cross its pivot with heavy volumes, which will get reflected in better price strength. And the EPS earnings, as I said, there were a lot of factors which created hurdles for earnings to be consistently reported. If a couple of quarters earnings report start getting reported consistently, I think the EPS ratings, which ideally what we look at above 80, should start coming through. So let's see how both these factors either or start moving up. Maybe we have a look at MTAR as well. So Deepak bhai, on the uptrend part, see, FI selling is happening, right? But when you're looking at the entire structure on how the market is placed at this point of time, you're seeing that FI selling is slowly and steadily ebbing off. Secondly, FI selling was not restricted only for India; it was a global phenomenon. And when you place India with the globe at this point of time, even within the developed spaces, I think the GDP growth that we reported was the best. So if there is no apparent hindrance, and I sincerely hope there is no apparent hindrance for a third wave or so on and so forth, I think what Moody's has pointed out is EBITDA growth for India incorporation or corporate India might be one of the one of the best when it probably comes to a lot of emerging or even a lot of the developed world pack as well. Third, in terms of data points and crude oil related moves, if crude oil continues to slide downwards or remain in this tight range with a downward bias, the second round effects of inflation, they start getting knocked off. Now, if the governor, and if you would have seen the RBI presser, he clearly pointed out that he's still maintaining inflationary stand at 5.3%. So, Giri, I think most of my comments will also come here. So, what I was talking about closing comments, I think I'll cover that. I'll cover a few stocks, but let me cover the closing remarks here and here itself. So, I think it's a nice opportunity for doing the stuff at this moment. So, again, coming back to the point, the food inflation maintained at 5.3. He's plausibly looking at GDP being maintained at 9.5 because he does not want to create a risk by quoting something more and maybe some elements in terms of Omicron and some disruptions because of that, anything which happens there, which can stifle GDP to a certain extent. But largely, inflationary trades maintained, accommodative stance, liquidity maintained, and therefore, I think when we are placing ourselves in front of the globe, it looks reasonably placed. Now, when you look at volumes, right, when the market fell a couple of days back, right, we were closely monitoring. I think the whole team, me, Rushit, Rajshekhar, Vakar, we were closely monitoring how the volumes were. Nifty volumes for that particular day when the Nifty breached 100 EM and it cracked, right, significantly. The volumes are significantly lower. So I think if you take an average of 310, 320 as Nifty volumes, you take out the outliers 270, 280, coming as the Nifty 50 daily moving average volume. That day it was 220 or 230, right? On the follow through day, day before yesterday, it was 254 million on Nifty, which is significantly higher. And today, I think, Rushit, it was 260, right? If I'm not mistaken, or 265.
Yes, it was 260 something.
So it was even better than yesterday. So what is happening is even if FIs are selling, the selling is ebbing off. It's coming off. The realization is that a lot of profits that were booked in, right, in a few of the broader market stocks, even the large cap stocks, maybe capitalize. DIs have been consistent buyers. Uh, Flows have not got hampered that significantly, and all these data points are actually going to aid. Now, a couple of elements over and above that is how the dollar index is placed. It's definitely at 96 odd. So if it comes down, even better, right? Because that is an indication not just India centric, it's global centric, right? So dollar index will be a phenomena and a cumulative reflection in terms of how the FIs are withdrawing money and the parking happening in bond yields. So even the 10-year on the US has been very, very range bound. Now, what developments happen, right? Uh, After December 15, December 16, a lot of FIs will go on their Christmas vacations. A lot of NAV booking will also start, or a lot of NAV locking, which has happened, might see some sustained kind of up move because FIs will largely be out of action for the last week of December, that's for sure, right? So there will be NAV adjustments because those are the annual performances that need to get reflected for FIs, for emerging markets, for their overall mix of global and emerging funds as well. And therefore, when you're probably looking at all these elements and aspects taken together, I think what we have witnessed in our market is that as per the O'Neill trend, right? We downgraded the market, we waited for a rally attempt that came through, we waited for a follow through, we waited, and an additional follow through day came up today. So those are positive signs which are getting seen and getting reflected. FI selling is there, but largely the overall take is volatility might persist into the market. We need to live by it, but also need to have a huge look at the market direction cycle. DIs can't match FI selling, but again, FIs will also realize that the market that they're probably in, and though India has outperformed significantly, right? Significantly. We are up still even on the mid cap front on a year basis, almost 47, 48 odd percent at this point of time. So that's a significant outperformance when you compare that with a Dow or a DAX. But still, I think if you compare other markets where there are a lot of issues on all these fronts, inflationary led issues, liquidity led issues, macro led issues, fiscal deficit led issues, debt to GDP led issues, uh, political issues, all these aspects, I think we are on a much, much, much better footing and therefore there has to be some sense of sanity which will prevail going forward as well. So I think those were my closing remarks, but I'll finish off with a couple of stocks as well. So MTAR, if we can take that up as well. So MTAR, again, specialized steel. If you look at what these guys do, clean energy, more than 53 odd percent, nuclear around 23 odd percent, space and defense. So I think the specialized steel that they provide for a lot of projects related to all this is very, very niche. Second, in terms of their order book, and I'm just recollecting, I might be wrong here because they have an order book of close to 535, 550 odd crores. Uh, they're executing their order book pretty well. The inventory days, if I'm not mistaken, had shot up quite significantly, but that should normalize going forward. And as that normalizes, because of their healthy balance sheet and because of a superior margin profile, you've probably got an element of an aspect where earnings growth should continue doing it. Thank Giri for pointing that out because I was not really sure. Too many stocks and sectors, so sometimes some figure is I just missed that out. No, what the story probably continues. It is obviously a huge way away from its pivot. So as Rushit was mentioning, alternate buy points as O'Neill has defined, you probably need to wait for that. So whether it's this stock or some other stock as well, which are significantly higher. And again, to note, if it is 100, 125% from the 200 DMA, that again becomes a dangerous sign, right? So you need to see how that stock is positioned. Is this position 100, 125% from the pivot and it's 200, sorry, from the 200 DMA? That's a dangerous sign because that might be a climax stop or parallel tracks that might be happening for that stock. Second element in terms of late stage, so stage 4, absolute avoid. But apart from that, if it's falling anywhere in the middle, and if it's clawing back with lower volumes, so the clawback towards its 50 DMA cannot be on substantial volumes because that will also indicate that institutions probably are getting off. You want weaker hands to get off, which gets reflected by lower volumes, and that clawback on lower volumes coming back to its 50 DMA, settling there and moving back up is something which is an ideal situation. That situation is actually happening, Arjun, just to point out with ICICI Bank, right? So if you look at ICICI Bank as an example, it actually rested on its 50 DMA. 748 was its 50 DMA, if I'm not mistaken. It's around 753 right now, and very good volume. So I think there was this cluster at 748 of 15, 21 DMA as well, and it actually bounced back very smartly from those levels as well. Take an example of HDFC Bank as well. It had a very smart bounce from its 200 DMA yesterday. So again, all these aspects need to be watched out for. You need to observe whether that supportive mechanism has happened with volumes. Has those the alternate buy points, as I said, they're very complex to decipher, very complex to analyze, and therefore having a lot of aspects from a 360-degree perspective needs to be taken into consideration when all these things are taken into consideration. Global markets, local markets, expectations in terms of volatility amount that can create a huge impact, and all these aspects then cumulatively combined for the sector and the stock needs to take into account. So Giri, I think we'll take Ease My Trip next time. We're already running out of time. We've already covered a lot. So the team tried to get into sector discussions and dissections as well. Tried to cover a lot of stocks as well. But definite Ease My Trip next time. We are obviously going to have this again and again. Maybe a year-end session is something that is also being planned. Too early to say, but let me see how we can take out time for that as well. But till that point of time, I think I hope we were helpful. Hope that the O'Neill methodology and whatever teachings and the learning curve that CADSLIM is taking us, we follow that, and maybe a return on investment on that teachings and learnings as we take our learning curve higher and higher ensures better returns and a better risk reward for us as well. So managing our risk, managing our reward, both equally important as per O'Neill, and that's what we lay extreme emphasis and importance about. So till we meet next time, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much. Take care.
One more thing, like there was a lot of questions about the stages of the base. So it is available on our website. So you can go to learning articles and you can get it over there. And also this Saturday, we have a very extensive discussion about the lot of features about the ONDIL methodology. So if you have time, you can join on Saturday as well. You can check with our marketing team about the link for that webinar. Thank you.
No, in fact, Rushit, there is a CANSLIM level 2, right? This
Yes,
Saturday.
yes, for level 2. Yes. So
Ah,
yeah, we will be discussing a lot of advanced things, not only the stages, but many advanced methodologies like how to pick the stock early and how to pick the stock when it is out of the zone. So a lot of discussion will be there. Yeah.
yeah. So I think it's a paid one, guys, but I think it's very interesting. And me, Rushit, Vakar, Rajshekhar, I think the session lasts almost for 5.5 hours. So we started around 10:30 in the morning, last till around 3:30. So if you guys don't feel bored to go through that grind on a Saturday for 5.5 hours, you're more than welcome to join the session. The only caveat here is that it's a paid one. So
Yeah, no, but someone asked, is there a discount for paid members? Yes, there is discount for paid members. You can definitely go into the link and check for the discounts.
super. So you take care, guys, till we meet again. Thanks, Rushit. Thanks, Vakar. Thank you all
Yeah,
for
thank you.
attending.